Okay, Gautam, Tara, and Anuhita. Where's Tara? Yeah.
While we are getting settled in, I'm just wondering whether we can have a show of hands. How many people are IITians? Okay, okay. That's interesting.
These are a bit bright. I wonder if we can,
Yeah.
because we can't see the audience at all. It's all, sorry? Yeah. Yeah, maybe that'll help. This is rather bright though. It's like,
Okay. I think these lights can be dimmed a bit. That's great. So thank you, Gautam, for this fabulous film. I think, and thank you to BIC and Vikalp for organizing this. I've seen this film now during, the first was a rough cut, and then before this session I watched it. And I think each time I find something new and interesting in it. So I think you quoted Lewis Carroll about the running. To me, it also seemed, the poem about the 7 maids with 7 brooms sweeping the sand, and it doesn't become clear. So I think this film doesn't give us very pat answers to a lot of things, but it does something which is far more interesting. It opens up a lot of questions. The layers which I found in the film is that, the 7 samurai and their journey, their to IIT, their journey within IIT, and how they evolve, and there is your journey, and that IIT itself, and the journey of IIT, though perhaps there's a little less of that. There are your 3 batchmates, and there's the generational tension between the parents and the students. There's also issues related to employment and where India's economy is currently. You've touched on a really lot of things. But I'm going to start just with the 7 students. I mean, they were so compelling and in very different ways. How did you choose the 7 students? Did you have more students to start with who you could not shape into the narrative? Could you just talk a little bit about that?
so firstly, a big thank you to BIC, to you too, for coming to the Rough Cut and now again coming for this. Thank you to my Vikalp colleagues and to Tara, and who's the producer and a very good producer, because she was very supportive and also was happy to let me be for a lot of the time also. There are actually quite a few, or a few people who worked on the film. I think Sonali is probably here. And she's been there right from the start, as was Tara. Usha has been a sort of constant, I've touched base with her every now and then. Who else is there? Jay Modi, one of the Anant, of course, yeah, my gosh, important, really important. There he is, Anant. Fantastic music, yeah, that really holds the film together. So the 7, initially I filmed 18. I mean, I sort of spoke to a lot more, and I filmed 18, and of the 18, we narrowed it down to 7. So I don't know if you noticed in the credits, there's somebody who's called Production and Research Associate, Shubham, who's also actually an IIT graduate, and he was interested in filmmaking, so he joined the team, and he was doing sound, and I was doing camera. So it's a very small team. I mean, he joined like about a few days after I started. So together we discussed it, and we thought, like, these are 7 people with 7 somewhat different views from 7 parts of the country also. And they were all in one wing I didn't want to keep jumping around from one place to another. There was also a degree of self-selection because they, some of them just dropped out. Some of them not available when it was really hard catching them in their homes or even in the hostel. Most of the time they're asleep. Yeah, during the day they're all asleep. I had to take a room in an IIT in the guest house to go there at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning, literally, and try to crawl past the guards because who is this elderly man who's going in there and what's he going to do there? Yeah, so it was quite a thing. Luckily, they didn't have CCTV during the first year, but after that, they had by the third year. So, yeah, so it was through that. I mean, it's harder to define a kind of rule, but it's, it just evolved organically, the 7.
So one more question about the 7, and then I want to come to you, Tara. They were also remarkably open and at times very vulnerable in front of the camera. I'm wondering how you managed to achieve that.
So I felt really vulnerable before today's screening because, it's like a personal narrative. No, I find that people, once you gain their trust, people are very happy to talk. People are very happy to open up. I mean, I've been doing this for many years now, 30 years. I found a lot of people want to talk. If they find an empathetic ear, they're very happy to talk. And they knew I'd gone through the same thing. So that relating to your first question, part of what gravitated some of them towards me and me towards them is the fact that they were also, in a sense, misfits. Some of them were misfits. But I wanted a range, so some of them seemed more comfortable with being students there and looking forward to success after that. So, but Paras from the start, Akhil from the start, Jay Modi, I couldn't get a grasp of what he was like at that time.
So Jay Modi is the one who transforms a lot. You might have to remind the audience because there were quite a lot of students and back and forth.
Yeah. So, I mean, it can get confusing, I'm sure, because there are 7 protagonists. But Jay Modi is the guy at the end, the chap who, there are 2 people right at the end, Paras and Jay Modi. Paras is the guy who's, whom I compare myself to.
All of us want to give a hug like his grandmother hugged him.
Yeah, that's right. So the 2 of them are intercut between them. He's the one who's really unsure right till the end. Jay Modi is much more in control of himself, but he's seeking something else. So that attracted me to him. At the end, I mean, I focused on 2 characters at the end, 3 actually, including Akhil, but 2 right at the end. So Akhil is the guy in the car. We see him in 2017 and again in 2023.
He's from Jammu.
That's right, yeah. Jay Modi is from Guna.
So Tara, I'd like to ask you, as Gautam was saying, you've been a supporter right from the very beginning of the film. So what did you find compelling about it?
I'm not, was I there from the beginning?
You came in after the first
Yeah,
year.
that's right.
So there is,
No, so, I mean, what was really wonderful was meeting these people that Gautam was meeting. And so I think what really happened, I mean, it began very informally because, he's from IIT and I was from another kind of background. But what drew me, and I think we spoke hours because it was about what's really going on here and how universal it felt, and what was it? And I think that's when this whole thing around, this film is not just going to be about IIT anymore. It's something that everybody will take a piece away with them. And that, and then we started discussing this thing about, what does success feel like? Or, we sort of zeroed in on that word. Then we got into meritocracy and all sorts of things. But this whole thing about we all have this journey, which is somewhere propelled by this seeking something, which is taking us to something called success. but nobody really knows what it is, or maybe some people do, I don't know. I don't really. But you know, so that's what really triggered it. And then we started really talking about what's this film about, and you know, and then of course Gautam kept going back to have conversations. So, and I think you sort of, you know, took the conversation into these areas, which I think really opened these people up. I mean, you were saying that they like talking, but I think what you were asking them was making them sort of think on their feet. You know, he wasn't telling them, this is what I'm going to ask you, but he was capturing it like he was a fly on the wall, which Gautam does really well. And so I think they really opened up to him, and it was a very different part of them, which I think they weren't really in touch with. And yet it was something really close to them somewhere. Thanks.
Yeah, I'd just like to say it's true that I started thinking of it in larger terms of success and failure and ambition after Tara came in. Tara began to see the footage after the home visits, which is in 2017. Yeah, so that's when we looked at a lot of the footage, and then we thought this could be a nice frame for it. So that did influence some of the later filming and some of the later the questions that I posed to them and how I've taken it forward.
So taking the cue from Tara about also the question about success and what they have said, especially the last two at the end. Two motives which keep coming up in your film are one of the race, literally the marathon, but the reference to the race to get into IIT, through IIT, the placements, and then that of a machine, which you talk about. And in a lot of ways, this entire process seems almost like a tunnel, which they go into and they come out at the other end, like a production line. So could you talk a little bit about these two motives and what is relationship with success?
So the rat race is a really commonly used term. And even that Lewis Carroll quote has entered corporates, actually. There's something called the Red Queen syndrome. I don't know if you've heard of it. But possibly many of the IITians who are working in corporate jobs would have heard of it. It's, having to run faster and faster and faster, otherwise you fall back. That's from Through the Looking Glass, where the Red Queen says to Alice, because they've been running really fast, but they're not going anywhere. So that's a common term. No, I don't know what else I would say. I mean, it is a rat race. It is a race, and it doesn't end with getting in. It doesn't end with getting out. It's if you get into that system, and you decide you want to succeed in whatever is considered success in those worlds, then there's no stopping. You just have to go. One of my classmates is here, Sunil. I don't know if he's still here and if he agrees. You do? Okay.
We'll be opening it up to the audience,
Sunil
so I hope to hear much more. And can you talk a little bit about, we've seen the students, a lot of them have come either because of parental pressure or because of social pressure. They say it in so many words that, it was a thing to do. Not some of them haven't thought about it. Some, like Paras, say, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'd like to ask you, because you said you felt like you had to join this. What were your impulses to join it? And then you came out at the end of it and, you were a totally different person.
So my journey is probably a little different. I was actually interested in doing this kind of stuff. I'd liked physics, and I fooled around with gadgets and stuff, and I built things. Also, my parents were dead against my joining engineering. They wanted me to do something else. So perhaps it's a somewhat different journey from that. But many of the students who come in, they thoroughly enjoy that entrance exam. They really like, exercising their brains and doing that, the physics and the maths and the whatever it is that you need to do to get into IIT. But then they find that it's just through those 4 years, it's just you have to work harder and harder and get more grades and then do better and better. Otherwise, you're going to drop out of that race. And then what was the point of studying all that time? So, so my motivation would have been interest in that. And then as soon as I joined, I realized that this is not really, you're not going to have fun here. This is purely instrumental. This is, when I was in IIT, most of the students wanted to go to the US, right? It was like a passport to the US. Today, it's mostly like a high-paying job. Nobody wants to study further. Even at that time, people wanted to study further mostly so that they could then move up the ladder. It wasn't so much an interest in whatever they were doing. At least, I'd say that's true of a bulk
one of your
people.
classmates said it was not about the course. It was
Yeah,
just
that's right.
about...
Yeah. So, yeah, does that
then
answer your question?
And then
No.
you emerged from it and you never became an engineer.
I'm not sure I've emerged from it, but I have not become an engineer, that's true.
I mean, one thing I'd like to say is that, and this was also, I think, somewhere part of our discussions, is that the educational environment itself, you know, the expectations, if you remember, about going to such an institute and, you know, and thinking that, oh, the world is at my feet and now I get to play, you know, having gone through this board exam and all that stuff. And it being a letdown, you know, I mean, and you're still questioning. Because I wonder, because the starting point itself was at odds with what you were wanting to go towards. I mean, of course, there is the pressure side and all that, and some of them were, what else should I do and all that. But there are students in the footage who say, you know, I thought I'm going to come here and build, I don't know, some spaceship, this, that, and the other. And here I'm doing some grade point average. You know, so, I mean, there is a serious issue. And relating that to why were there IITs? Why did they come into existence soon after independence? And what was Nehru's vision of that? And that, you know, it becomes part of building India. And how do you contribute, as one of the parents say? Yeah. You know, and that's the weave, you see. That's the weave of the film, which hopefully we all relate to in very different ways. Because of the way life turns out or throws things at you, which sometimes you don't want. And you don't even know you don't want because you're just busy coping with it.
It's interesting you raised the issue about what the IITs were built for. You know, just preparing for this moderation, I went and looked at the founding charters of the IITs, the post-war reconstruction of the country and how technology would help India industrialize. There was also a lot of the IITs still have in their, you know, vision documents, service to the country and nation building. But do you think there's been a long journey from that to now?
I don't think we took that journey. And if it was one, it was really short, and it certainly wasn't in my lifetime. But I think we missed something there. I think because do we look at education more as a training? Because there is a difference. And then you want a journey that where you are, you know, experiencing and exploring and thereby incidentally learning, I would imagine. And maybe Gautam, I don't know, but Gautam should speak for himself. But the fact, I think in Gautam's journey, I feel there was trauma. You go into this place and you think, oh my God, this is not what I signed up to. And I mean, and you see it with the other samurais too, some of them thinking
In fact,
where I am.
I don't know if you remember the three people I dropped from the film. And those are actually the best conversations, meaning they're the most articulate of all the people I interviewed. One of them says, we came in thinking it was an educational institution, and we realized it was a placement agency. And another chap says, because IIT is right next to JNU, for those of you who are familiar with Delhi, and he says, it's right there, why don't you just open up the gate and IITians can go in there and they can get some courses in social sciences, and those guys can come here and get some, ways to earn money and learn how to earn money, and then, why do they close that? Why do they make these boundaries between these two institutions?
Because those doing arts never get anywhere.
Actually, that's not
I'm
true
sure there are a
these
lot of
days.
people who've done arts in this audience. They're here where they should be. But, I'd like to get to something that you mentioned right at the beginning of the film, that, amongst your 7, there were no Dalits or Muslims, but that also reflects the social reality. And of course, I think now we have heard a lot about the fact of the Dalit presence in IITs, how they're treated, the dropout rates, etc. And I'm sure somebody in the audience will probably take it up. So I'd like to actually ask about the fact the IIT itself seems like a caste system. You're born into a caste, but once you're through IIT, it's like a stamp for your life, regardless of what you do. So the education seems to be subpar. I think it was quite shocking how a lot of students said their professors were reading from a text rather than teaching. But there is also a stamp that you get after that.
Yeah. No, there is a stamp, and that whole business of a credential, that whole machinery is a credentializing machinery. That's what it's there for. It's not there to educate you in any broader sense. Of course, you get trained. I don't know, maybe I'm being too critical of IIT here. Maybe some people here would be offended by it, but it's not so much IIT only. I think it's our whole, the way in which we've conceived of these institutions, the way in which at least they've become, what they've become now, they have become basically credentializing institutions. And I don't know if you've heard this professor from Harvard, Michael Sandel. So he's been trying to, and he's one amongst many, he's really famous, so I'm citing him, but there are many people who are trying to get rid of exams after people get in. So then, students are just left to do whatever they like during those 4 years. Instead of constantly trying to get higher grades and, setting that as a goal rather than just immersing yourself in whatever else that you're interested in. So it is a tag. The IIT tag is a tag, and
I'm going to open it up to the audience after just one more question to you. The making of the film was also a journey for you, and you mentioned these nightmares with the professor chasing you with a mark sheet, asking you to go back. Probably going back was the nightmare part of it. But I'm wondering what the journey has meant to you.
So many things. Firstly, it is true that I was trying to understand why I dropped out so suddenly. And my conversations with some of them, including the 3 who were really articulate, who had dropped from the film, did help me clarify that in my mind. But it's also other things. It's, you go back to a place that you were there, where you were 35 years ago. There are multiple...
What did they clarify?
What did they clarify? So why did I leave? Because, it doesn't... you're not allowed to do what you like over there. I thought this was a place where you could, like one of those chaps said, build robots. And you do, but those robots are, funded by an industry. It's very specific. It's very oriented towards, how do I put it? It's,
You can give offense. This audience can handle offense.
No, I'm trying to find the words. I'm not trying to not offend. You're asking me what did I find? What helped me clarify? Firstly, it's a process, and within the first 6 months, I had a sense of why I almost dropped out. It was nice to meet these people. I didn't meet people like that when I was in college, because I think misfits don't get together, and also one tends to kind of. isolate, and then you don't know who the other people are who are also misfits. So you don't. I mean, I think things are changing, but it is true that there is no place to come together and talk about what could be wrong. So then you imagine that it's you. There's something wrong with you, that you're not being able to do what most people seem to be doing and seem to be succeeding at in some fashion. So
Like Paras says, when you see other people getting it together, then you start feeling
then
lost.
you start, yeah, that's right. And it is, it affects people greatly. I mean, the suicide rate in IIT is much higher than many other institutions, because the pressure is so high that I don't know the exact figures, but I do remember telling a prof that it's so much, like 7 students had committed suicide that year. And he said, only 7. I mean, that's what is the problem, kind of
No,
thing.
and it's the wrong kind of pressure. That's the problem. It's an educational environment which becomes individualistic very quickly, and it's all measured numerically, and you do not get to get on a journey other than how do I divide my time with that 80% that becomes more and more important, because the 20% isn't giving you very much. And so it's skewed. It's very badly skewed. It's not this nostalgic, beautiful picture of my friends meant so much to me. It's that you have to take refuge somewhere because it is a nightmare. Oh, sorry, but it felt like one from the outside. But, there is a problem here about the individual and the collective. And if I have to contribute to something, then I see myself as part of a circle that contributes. And does an educational institute give you that way of thinking? It doesn't. It apparently doesn't. And there is a problem there. So you are alone, and then you have to become this individualistic achiever, which is all wrong. Because then you're not going to contribute. You're going to say, what is my journey going forward? And how am I going to make it with all the other measurements for it, car, house, this, that, whatever,
And I'd say that engineering or these kind of institutions are not, it's not only institutions like this, it's also liberal arts universities, and the academics today has also become very competitive. And it's really climbing up that ladder. No, you can't survive unless it's hard to. It's not a world where you can just immerse yourself and learn and do whatever you like. It's very much a career.
Yes, as Tara was saying, it's not just IIT, it's more universal.
Yeah.
But let's open it up to the audience. No question can give offense unless it's rambling, and I will be very strict on that. So please think about what you want to ask so that more people can get a chance. There's someone.
Hello. Thank you for the film. Congratulations on that. It was very good with the different varieties of stories we saw. I wanted to ask a question. We saw the inspiration that your batchmate gave to the Technocats, and I wanted to know what was the inspiration. Like your friend said, the biggest misfit of all, you were able to give off camera, or what was the inspiration you gave to the students?
No, so I tried not giving them any inspiration. I tried staying out of their lives. Some of their parents were worried that I may influence them to go in the direction that I did. So I, as far as possible, didn't speak much about myself. There was enough that I communicated for them to trust me. But beyond that, I didn't reveal that much about myself. I didn't want to inspire them in any fashion. My reason to be there was to learn about them and their journey. And they're so caught up in themselves, especially during those 4 years, that they didn't seem too curious either. So they just let me be. So I was really like a fly on the wall, except that I'm having conversations with them all the time. But those conversations are also, I'm asking them about themselves. They rarely ask me about me. So, Yeah, so I didn't
Which in
inspire
itself
them.
says something.
Yeah, and I didn't screen that footage to them of my classmates to inspire them. I was just curious to know what their reaction would be. You know, because to some extent, both Soumitra, who's in some ways a terribly successful character, dean of Cornell and then dean of later Oxford, the business school there, and you know, in every conventional sense, he's been extremely successful, and he had a huge GPA and all of that. But he too, in many ways, is a failure. He's very vulnerable. The way in which he speaks, there's a. I mean, I feel that there's something a little bit broken somewhere. And Paras, on the other hand, who appears broken to start with, I feel has a certain strength. So, I mean, everybody, I think, is a success and failure. So I wasn't really trying to inspire them in any way.
Lady in the front.
Thank you for doing this film. I think we need many more films like these. My question, I mean, like the film focuses more on what's happening inside an IIT, but I mean, an IIT is not existing in isolation, it's existing in the society. And I wrote JEE 27 years back.
Oh, wow.
And the number of seats were less then. Now, when I look at what entrance examinations have become after 27 years, I mean, it was fairly competitive in those years also, and now, you know, like what you need to do to game the entrance system is of a very different kind. So my question is that, I mean, do you think we need some education in the society itself so that the demand for these kind of courses is not what it is today? And my second question is, I mean, I studied at IIM Bangalore, and a lot of what we see for IITs, one can relate with what happens when you get inside an IIM. When you talk to professors at IIM, you know, because GPA is needed, I mean, today IIM also people get a placement. So I'm saying that the professors inside struggle to do something different because it is being seen as a route to a great job. So I'm saying that like some of these things are also like largely what the society is also needing more than what the institute is only doing. So just some thoughts on that.
No, that's absolutely true.
1.4 million, I think, took the GE in this year. So
Yeah. When I had applied, it's, I think, 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or something. So, yeah, about 10, maybe 14 times. No, you're right. I mean, it's not, the problem is not only IIT, although, you know, you could begin there. And this entrance exam, I mean, we put so much emphasis on that. And, you know, the difference between the highest mark, the person who gets the highest mark, who comes number 1 in JEE, and the person who comes last, it's just like few marks. It's not like a huge amount. And that sort of stamps you for life. So I think rather than have this huge hierarchy of institutions, you need many more institutions. And you know, the amount of money that's spent on IITs, the budget of each IIT, which is also being reduced because I think the government wants IITs to become self-sustaining, and they're getting the alumni to contribute. But it's still a very large amount. And primary schooling in this country is so underfunded. You know, so I think we need to spread that money out, at least to other colleges. Ideally, you need to begin at school level. Many of the quota schools, as you probably know, are just, you know, IIT training or medical training institutes, engineering training institutes. I shouldn't say only IIT because it's now a common exam. So it's not an easy problem to solve, I agree. But you could begin somewhere, and you could begin there. I mean, I guess it's not easy as a professor in IIT to change even the IIT system, because that's linked to national policy, and the IIT is so much in the national spotlight that it's hard to make those kind of changes. But you know, I don't know what the solution is to change the whole system. I just know that it's not ideal.
Tara, did you
And
want to add?
I just want to say, I don't entirely agree that because society has a pressure, so an institution must perform accordingly. I don't think that's the case. I think there are points of opportunity where an institution must step up, given it makes such a fanfare about what it is about and what it seeks to achieve. And I don't think it reflects that at all. So, we may have expectations of our children, and, I mean, that's the regular stuff. We want our children to be happy and, and so on and so forth. But I don't think that an institute can use that as the excuse for performing the way it does, because I think it's unpardonable. I don't think an institute can bring all these kids in after having studied for these 2 years and before that in school, and then, and then clip their wings. I mean, it feels like that. Because I don't think it's a journey. It's not a flight. It's not a launching yourself into life at all. On the contrary. And it's you bury yourself further down. You dig a hole and your neck goes further down and your head is down there. Because you're then, I'm going to do IIT, then I will do IIM, and then I'll do... Because somebody tells you, yeah, that's the route. It's not like, oh, what is about the system and the physics that I learned and the whatever that will help me, and what are those issues out there that we should be solving? And there's no such framing. It's what's your GPA? Is that the beginning, end, and middle of an institute of that kind? I mean, I don't know.
I think one of the parents even tells his son, is probably Akhil, is that just do some competitive exam next, rather than just going on studying or research or something. This lady in the front, third, she had her hand up first. Lady in green, and then the lady in black and white, and the lady in red.
Thank you. I think this movie has hit me like I think nothing else has hit me in some recent time. I'll tell you just 2 lines why. So I'm from IIT Delhi, and I just felt like I lived my campus. I'm beyond nostalgic right now. And second thing I want to share is that I have joined and quit Google twice. Once in 2013 and then once in as early as 2025. I have been through all these stages myself. So my question is, like, one thing I noticed was how their eyes were, all over the 7 years. Like in the beginning, the eyes were so innocent and they were looking directly in the camera. And in the last year, they were almost not looking at the camera, and their eyes were also become very less. There was no twinkle in the eyes. At least I'm telling from my interpretation. And I'm very scared of that myself, that I don't want the twinkle to go. So is that something you also noticed or tried to bring out in the movie? Because I saw the camera going in even when they were not talking. Like they were looking down, they were feeling ashamed or something because in their eyes they're not successful. So what?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for sharing that.
And the camera goes back and forth between their younger selves and their current selves.
Yes, and that's when the contrast became so obvious about the eyes.
So the disenchantment is certainly, I mean, of course, that's what the film is built on. These people are 18, 19 when they come in. This is the time when, you should be expanding your mind and you should be absorbing all kinds of things. And here you chisel down to just that much. So yes, that does do something to people, and that does show in the eyes. May I ask which batch you're in? When did you graduate? Okay, all right, no problem. No worry. No worry. But thanks for noticing that. I mean, it's...
Yeah, so I'm also an IIT Delhi alum, 97 batch. Don't mind telling you my age. So I actually wanted to ask you, so I felt there was a lot more diversity on campus than was represented in the film. Has it changed? Like, for example, there were a few people who were worried about CGPA, but by and large, people were not. There were a lot more people who were interested in 100 other things. And there were different kinds of people. There were some people who were true engineers. And in this 7, there was nobody who was a true engineer. There was nobody who was the true extracurricular star. Like all those different profiles on campus. There was nobody who had a romance, for example. So
that's
was it like a deliberately narrow set compared to the diversity on campus? Because I found the campus like 100 times more diverse than the film.
So diverse in the sense of, I mean, all of these people are engaged in all kinds of things. It's true that I haven't explored the relationships with the women at all. You said romance, right? Yeah, so that has gone completely out of the film for a bunch of reasons. During those 4 years, to my knowledge, none of them had, intense relationships with any women, of the 7. I had selected the 7 before, I couldn't predict where their lives would go when I selected them, but during those 4 years, I don't think any of them had intense relationships with women. 3 years later, when I went back to them in 2023, of course, they were, but I was not able to get into that. I was not able to explore that
But the
aspect
other
of their lives.
dimensions of the students
Yeah.
is also something she's asking about. That
So, did you find that people actually enjoyed the many other things? I mean, they did, but also many of those things also become CV markers. No, you don't agree. Okay, yeah, no, so there are different perspectives. I certainly found that a lot of people, when you apply for a job or whatever, then you put down, I was captain in so-and-so team, or I was this and that, and those become part of... Okay. There's certainly people who enjoyed theatre, I agree. And Paris is also trying to do that. He directed a play. The guy who... No, you don't think... yeah. Naman is playing the guitar. He was actually learning it in his first year. He was prevented from learning it in his 11th and 12th by his father. That fact doesn't come out. But he is playing the guitar. Who else is doing something or the other? I don't remember.
well, they're all reading, even though we might have
that's right. They're all reading.
questions about their
what they read.
choices.
But that's what is available also. That is the material that's easily available to this particular group of people. From 97 till 2016, I think there would have been a demographic shift also. Maybe when you were in college, then many more people came from cities like Delhi. But when I filmed, a larger percentage of people came from smaller towns and villages.
I think I'd just like to say that, and Gautam, you can disagree with me, but I think the idea of feeling out of place, a misfit, there are many shades to it. And it's not just about the person, it's about the system. And the fact that what is the real pursuit, I mean, I keep banging on this, sorry, but what is the pursuit of an institution is the question. And in that, what becomes the journey and and the coping mechanisms within that journey. I think that's, Gautam, going back there, he says, and you can disagree, but I went to go and find what I had left behind, or, going back to find versions of yourself, possibly. So this is the relatedness that is important. It's about, why do I feel that you are like me, but I don't know that. But there's some intuitive side to this, which then plays out in 7 different ways. But there is, in that, there is a systemic, massive issue, which is worth addressing, not just as a system, but as individuals who become part of systems and become slaves to those systems. And it's a question that then becomes universal as to how much of slavery are we living? Sorry, that's a bit much.
I will say, Tara, that I think the film is critical, but it's not judgmental, and I felt it opens up a lot of issues rather than telling you how to think about these things. How much time do we have left? Last question
This
to the
one.
lady with the,
The lady here has been.
I think, lady with the.
Can I just make a quick comment?
Oh, yeah, Sonali,
It's
yeah,
not a
yeah.
question, it's a
Sonali
comment.
is the script collaborator. She's also, okay,
Okay,
from the start.
Okay, quick comments.
so, yeah, very quick comment that I noticed this time, that that everybody says, I got placed in. I was placed in Procter & Gamble. I was placed in Ernst & Young. And I found that actually this time a really weird construction. It's so passive. It's not I got a job with or I applied to and got it. And what it reminded me of is the what do you call it? Those auctions for the cricketers. So actually, it's so much wider than just the IIT. Or it's so much wider, Tara. It's definitely our society. It's so clear. This is not happening in some outer space. It's so squarely part of our value system. That's all I want to say.
It's interesting because that audio visual from way back, the script ends with 80205 saying, I went for an interview which went disastrously paused well, and it's all over now. So it's almost like you didn't want to reach that. Do we have time for one question?
And very quickly, Vinay, who's the guy at the end, he shows us all the certificates in the extracurriculars. So there you are. So, and Navyug has made the audiovisual. So people are involved in many other things, and those they enjoy. But somehow, as an education institution, you'd expect them also to feel fondness for the professors and for some courses. But there are very few who do that. Maybe you did. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Hi. Yeah, I'm from IIT Bombay. I perhaps would be one of the oldest, 1980 batch.
I'm older, I'm sure.
Okay, 1980 batch.
Just a little
right?
bit less than.
Thank you for making the film. There's a lot to think about, but it's not the complete truth. And therefore, I think it's very one-sided. I just had my 45th reunion, and we were about 100 of us. There are a lot of points which that lady from the 97 batch said, which I agree with, and I'll go beyond, which is that IIT changed our lives, not because of the placement at the end, but because of the process. We made great friends for life. We learnt a lot. We became humble. We were all toppers in the school, and here we were average. We learnt from our peers. It was an environment that many of us thrived in. There were people who did not, and it was difficult for them. I was one of the leaders of a strike where we fought about precisely this, that the SC/ST Dalit students are being kicked out because they did not finish it in 5 years. And it was a tough year, but IIT recognized it. And thereafter, they had 1 year of a, what do you call as a grace period? No, an induction period, or 1 semester or something like that, so that those kids could come in and become part of the system. So they tried as a system. So while I am differing, there are different experiences. I think I want to understand, so I have to have a question. What is it? Who's your audience? Who do you want to show this to? What is it for?
So just to
Who is
address what you
to-
just said
Yeah.
about, so you were in the 45th reunion, I just had my 40th reunion in February. There is great fondness for peers. Vinay says that too. All the 7, they do say that, Paris says it, Jay Modi says it, all of them feel great fondness for their peers, for their classmates. What they don't feel fondness for is the institution. Maybe you did. Maybe you found professors and courses which you enjoyed. These 7 don't seem to have. And I'd say that's largely true. Sorry? How? No, so... Sure, that's true. So any film has a certain point of view, right? This is expressing my point of view through these 7 youngsters. And it's not so exceptional, I can tell you that. There are many who do actually feel that way. It may not be the majority of people, But even Vinay, he says 80% was my peers and only 20% the institution. Vinay is the guy, who's the
With
actor.
the marathon and
Yeah,
the
marathon,
logical song.
Yeah, the logical song. I would say that the greater percentage of people would say that they do not feel fondness for the institution. Shaumitro, who's the guy who was dean of this and that, he says, I don't feel nostalgia. I wouldn't call it nostalgic, but I'm grateful because it's taken me to these levels of success. And that success is essential. Well, your experience may be different, but even if, arguably, even if that is the primary, that most people do feel the way that you do, I've said in the beginning of the film that, the really successful students and those who kind of completely drop out, they come in the news. But there are a whole bunch of others who don't come in the news. And my interest was in following people like this, people whom maybe you'd call misfits, because that was my experience. So
I also thought that actually there were a lot of people you showed in the film who probably didn't agree with you at all, and that also came through. So there were possibly multiple perspectives, and I know there's a lot to talk about, but BIC might never have us back if we continue now. So let's carry on the conversations after we leave here. Yeah, let's hope it's, thank you so much for this.
thank you. Thanks so much.